We're going to talk about something so basic, so fundamental to being human, that we almost forget how powerful it is. I'm talking about walking. And it turns out, this simple act holds the key to transforming not just our health, but maybe even the world we live in. All right, so here's our game plan. We'll kick things off with one man's absolutely incredible journey on foot. Then, we're going to dive into the science of what a simple stroll actually does to your body. From there, we'll zoom out and look at how walkable communities can change everything, what's stopping us from walking more, and some really cool solutions. And then, we'll bring it all back home to your first step.
So, to really get a handle on the power of walking, we've got to start at the extreme. This is a story that pushes the absolute limits of what a person can do, and, in the process, tells us something really important about this simple activity.
Okay, picture this. You are 3 years into a mission to literally walk around the entire planet. You've slept in who knows how many tents, you've relied on the kindest of strangers. So when a police chief in the Philippines offers you a safe, warm place to sleep for the night, inside his jail, you don't even hesitate. You say yes. That was a real day in the life for Jean Béliveau, a man on a truly extraordinary adventure.
Now look, Jean's journey is absolutely wild. But let's be real, most of us are not about to walk across a continent. So what's in it for us? Let's dial it way back. What actually happens when you or I just walk a little more each day? Let's geek out for a minute and get into the science. We're going to zoom right in and see the incredible chain reaction that kicks off inside your body from just taking a walk. And here's the coolest part. The benefits aren't just a one-time thing. They build on each other. They compound. It all starts with just one walk. Right away, you get that mood boost from endorphins. Keep it up for a few weeks, and your heart literally gets stronger. It gets better at pumping oxygen. A few months in, you can see your blood pressure actually go down. And years down the road, we're talking about building denser bones and lowering your risk for serious stuff like type 2 diabetes and even dementia. It's like an investment that keeps paying off.
Okay, this brings us to the elephant in the room, the number that our fitness trackers are absolutely obsessed with. Do you really have to hit that 10,000 step mark to get the benefits?
10,000. It's become this gold standard for being active, right? For some people, it's super motivating. For others, it just feels totally impossible. So here is the bottom line, and this is so important. 10,000 is a great goal, but it is not magic. The research is crystal clear on this. Any increase from whatever you're doing right now has real, measurable health benefits. So forget the pressure. The best number of steps you can take is just more than you did yesterday.
Okay, so we've talked about what walking does for us inside. Now let's zoom way out. Because these benefits, they don't just stop at our skin. They ripple out into our towns, our cities, and our communities.
When our neighborhoods are actually designed for people instead of just cars, everybody wins. It's pretty simple. We rely less on our cars. That means cleaner air right where we live and fewer greenhouse gas emissions overall. But the effects go deeper. People in these places report being more satisfied with their lives and, get this, feeling less lonely. And hey, that's not just a nice thought. A study of older adults in Hong Kong found a direct link. The more walkable their neighborhood, the less lonely they felt and the happier they were with their lives. It just goes to show you, a simple sidewalk can be a powerful weapon against social isolation. So, if walking is so amazing for us and for our society, it begs the question, right? What is stopping us? Why is something so natural and simple so hard sometimes? Well, a huge part of the answer is baked right into the world around us. For decades, we built cities around the car. That meant big highways, and it meant keeping the places we live totally separate from the places we shop or work. The result? You need a car for pretty much everything. The other way to do it is to design for people. That means investing in sidewalks, in parks, and mixing things up so you can actually walk to the store. It's about creating a place that invites you to be outside. But here's the really hopeful part. This isn't some unsolvable puzzle. All over the world, communities are finding really creative ways, both huge and tiny, to bring people back into the picture. Let's take Vancouver. Back in 2013, the city took this 2-kilometer stretch of road and just completely remade it. What was for cars is now the Comox Homekeng Greenway, a beautiful, dedicated space just for walking and biking. And this wasn't just to make things look nice. It had real, measurable results. The people living nearby, they started driving less, a 23% drop in their daily car trips. And because of that, their personal greenhouse gas emissions fell by 21%. That's a huge, concrete impact, all from changing the design of one road. But you don't always need a massive, expensive project to see a change. In a small town, Bethel, Vermont, people used really simple, cheap fixes. Things like painting crosswalks and adding what are called curb extensions to make their downtown safer and easier to walk around. It's proof that sometimes the biggest changes really do start small.
Okay, so we've gone from one man's epic walk around the world to the science inside our own bodies, all the way to how our cities are built. Now, let's bring this whole thing right back home. Back to you. Remember Gene Beliveau? By the time he finally got home, he had walked over 75,000 kilometers. I mean, that's a distance that's almost impossible to wrap your head around, right? And it was all built one step at a time.
But his story and all the science we've looked at makes one thing perfectly clear. You do not have to walk around the globe to feel the impact. The journey, with all of its incredible benefits, it starts with that one simple step out your own front door.
Whether it's about changing your health, changing your community, or changing your planet, the power is right there, in that simple motion. You don't have to walk the globe to change your world. So the only question left is, what's your first step going to be?